Gonna play for a bit. It might be a shorter stream. We'll see how I feel. See how it goes. If I lose, I probably will end stream, depending on how early or late it is. So we're at 33 swaps in doubles, and because there's elevations on 15, 22, 29, so on, means the first three Pokemon are going to be elevations with random IVs. That's part of the reason why round 8 and 9 are a bit harder than the surrounding rounds. Flying type spec in doubles is a little bit scary for Earthquake weak teams. Oh shoot, I forgot about the world record thing. I have to manually edit that. Oh, no. No, I'll leave it. You're gaslighting me. Okay. Oh, can I have... It's actually difficult to know what I want on Artie. I was going to say RT3 is probably what I would want. It's an Ice Beamless Articuno. Okay, never mind. I'm not completing anymore. Starmie 3 in doubles. Slightly nerfed by Surf being not as usable since it's half power, but very strong Pokemon. Oh, the speed isn't great. RT speed isn't too bad, it's like average. Lost the Clefable 1 Metronome Sheer Cold today. Wow. That is an event. Spitty. I've been shafted by the IV slightly. The HP isn't too bad. It's somewhat relevant. I think Starmie is coming. Yeah, Starmie's gonna come. Okay. Bit awkward. I would obviously like the last three to be the ones with imperfect IVs and the first three to be the ones with perfect IVs. Trying to think if there's anything I really want to think about in terms of flying. Obviously, normally when flying, I'm thinking about the fast, special, and physical attackers, which is a bit annoying about flying, is that the type category is a bit unpredictable. Even among the physical attackers, there is stuff like Fire Blast, Aero. Yeah, what's interesting about it has got a good attack IV though. I think that's low 20s. The low speed isn't actually too much of a problem. The low special attack is. The special attack is 1 or 2, I think. Or is it even 0? It's actually 0, isn't it? It's 0 or 1. So Starmie's gonna suck on Metacham missing Psycho Cut. Yeah, Metacham 3 is an interesting Pokemon. I don't think I can take Metacham 3. I don't know about putting Articuno in the back. It feels a bit risky. Make sure to ret up Art. Yeah, the Starmie has a really good attack IV, but the Articuno does not, and I might be taking Articuno. Articuno looks like it's around 11. I don't know. I think I've got to take Ursaring. I think Fortress 1 is close to unusable. I'm kind of thinking about Medicham because it is fast. I'm probably swapping out Medicham if I take it, but that's not too bad. I can step out Medicham for a flying type. It's quite likely to be a decent pickup in the first game, and it is fast. What scares me about Medicham is how many games I'm going to probably end up kicking the dynamic punch. And there's also stuff like I don't want to run into Dodrio. Your first elevated mon after the rest reset discovery was 31 attack IV, Starmie 3. That is epic. I'm wrestling with the idea of actually not taking Ursaring and putting Articuno in the back. The problem with Articuno in the back is that Spread Blizzard is a pretty terrible move. It is very, very good in 1v1s. Particularly against flyers. I mean, I'm probably going to be put in a position where Blizzard will fix the game. I take Ursaring. I'm a bit concerned about Moltres, actually. I'm not taking Fortress. It's too slow. It is definitely too slow. I'm leaning towards Starmie Ursaring with Medicham in the back. I think I'm going to do that. I can't really take X-Bloud because of the Hyper Voice spread damage being terrible. I think it's got to be this, actually. The more I think about it, the more I think there's no... I could go with the Blizzard Articuno, but it's a little bit risky. It is good to know I can't run into Articuno myself. That is good news, actually. I might have to hit Mega Kick, but that's better than having to hit Dynamic Punch. And I think with Medicham in the back, Medicham will be coming into a scenario where I know I can just use an Elemental Punch, probably Thunder or Ice Punch. That should be enough. And yeah, I'm gonna have to rest after the first match. It's very likely that Starmie is staying, whereas Ursaring not so much. So with Gramble, Salamence. It's not high risk, so it's not Gramble 2. The double Intimidate is a bit sucky for Ursaring. I am a bit worried about Banned Gramble. I suppose I'm even more worried about Quick Claw, because Quick Claw double edge into Starmie would be devastating. Knowing that the other flyer's in the back, flying... I feel like flying high risk probably is the most common one. I'm trying to reassure myself that they're probably not a high risk Settlements. I'm actually thinking about leaving Settlements there and going for Gramble instead, even though I've got Ice Beam, obviously. It is quite tempting to just try and get Gramble off the field. Because I do have Crunch. I don't have to use Mega Kick. I can Psychic Crunch. Gramble free might live that, which does suck. Yeah, I've got Medicham in the back. Obviously, Medicham is slower than the speed invested Salamence sets, but if it's not speed invested, I am easily going to handle it with Ice Punch. I guess the speed invested sets are a bit more likely given that it's no phrase. I guess the other logic is that I go for Salamence, and if it is Gramble 3 or 4 and Starmie does go down, I've always got the option of Dynamic Punch. What worries me about that is that even if I hit that Dynamic Punch, I don't know if I really trust a -2 special attack, -2 attack Ursaring to win the final 1v1 against an unknown flyer. That sounds dubious. And quite a lot of flying types will be able to take out Medicham. Yeah, that is a bit dubious, I would say. Got any other smart ideas before I do that? One idea is to use counter, I guess. It would be a bad idea against Gramble 4. And it'd be a bad idea if they both target Ursaring, but if they both go for Ursaring, I think that's fine, and I can just Ice Beam Salamence. It really is only bad against Ursaring 4, which is quite a big problem because Ursaring 4 is obviously no phrase. I'm not using counter, and I am using Ice Beam on Salamence. Am I crunching? The Mega Kick versus Crunch is not a big damage difference. I think I'm gonna go for that. What sucks about this is I probably don't find out what Salamence said it is. I think I'm taking it anyway. I'm gonna Ice Beam it. The worst case scenario is definitely the Gramble free double edge into Starmie with Quick Claw. If that happens, I probably do want to Mega Kick actually if that happens. almost any other scenario, including Gramble 4 taking down Starmie, I think I'd rather crunch. I can handle Gramble the following turn, and Medicham should be faster than most flyers. That's not good news. That's a lot of damage, which means it's probably Gramble 4. Skarmory. I think it's a little bit... It's difficult because I didn't get any information about Salamence. I mean, it's a bit less likely to be 1 and 4, probably, because of high risk. I think Skarmory's not a terribly big problem for me, really. Only Skarmory 4 would be able to Oko Medicham. And I can just kill Gramble here. I'm a little bit worried about Skarm 4 versus Starmie in an endgame 1v1 though. Should get redirected. Okay, it's Skarm 2, that's fine. Could be Skarm 3 not using Curse in doubles. That's very unlikely, though. Interesting. Okay. Definitely resting to fix Starmie. Resting does make Ursaring pretty bad. It's high risk. I probably have to get rid of both Ursaring and Medicham in this round. It's tricky. Obviously, I would rather... the Unknown Salamence is better than both Ursaring and Medicham, I would say. I would rather Intimidate be in the front. But Ursaring is better than Medicham. Another factor is that I'm not swapping out Starmie. Because I'm not swapping out Starmie, it's unlikely to be any kind of Earthquake combination in this round. Which means it's less important to put Salamence in the front. Starmie is very likely to pick up a kill on the early turns before Salamence comes in. So if Salamence is likely to get the double Intim, it just sucks a bit for the bulk of Starmie, the effective bulk, to not have Intimidate up immediately. I think it's close on what to do here. I'm leaning towards putting Salamence in the front. Just because high risk is more likely to be a physical set. I mean, it is true that a lot of the counter-coat Pokemon are high risk. And obviously, the Oko spammers are high risk as well, but it's better long-term. There's still 18 enemies left to beat. Better long-term to put the Intimidate in the front, I think. Gonna put the Salamence. One second. Want to see scary Pokemon? This is Hex Maniac Lexi, isn't it? This quote scared L50. I remember that on one of his streams this week. It is Lexi. Okay, yeah, that is... I am a bit scared of Moltres. What Salamence do we have? Oh, it's Salamence 1. Hey, Phyllis, thanks. Salamence 1 is a pretty good outcome. It's a fast Salamence. It's got mixed options, which is nice if I get intimidated later, potentially. And it's got the ever-accurate Aerial Ace, if I want that option. Can't do much about Golem. Obviously, because it's high risk, it is going to be a Quick Claw Golem. Well, it could be 2, but it's very likely to be 1, 3, or 4. And obviously, high risk Moltres. Not a surprise. Moltres 4 activates that on its own. Moltres 2 also pretty likely. So Overheat in general pretty likely. I think there's... I guess the good side, the good upside here is that Quick Claw Golem is very, very likely to use Earthquake. I think it actually is almost guaranteed. Not guaranteed completely because of Rock Tomb. Can't remember what the plus score is. Is it +3 or +2 from Rock Tomb? Either way, it's the strongest move into Salamence. So possible Rock Tomb, but if it does activate its Quick Claw, it won't see itself as slower, so it won't actually use Rock Tomb. So I think because of that, because of the way Quick Claw interacts with the AI, I think it is guaranteed to use Earthquake. And a -1 Earthquake is not a problem, unless it crits Starmie. So that would suck. So all of that to say, basically, I should be completely fine as long as Golem doesn't Quick Claw. Obviously, I should be surfing. I think it's very clear I should be surfing. Thunderbolt does more to Moltres, but killing the Golem is fairly important. So surf, and then I could Rock Slide with Salamence, but I think I'd rather get the confirmed hit on Moltres. Aerial Ace hits hard than Dragon Claw. I guess the reason I might not want to do that and use Dragon Claw is that it could be an Intimidate Mon switching in. And if it is Intimidate Mon switching in, then after the Intimidate, -1 Aerial Ace plus Surf might not kill Moltres. So yeah, I think it is Surf Dragon Claw. I could hit the Mon coming in, but that doesn't feel good. And if Golem does get an Earthquake crit into Starmie, I think... Well, in that situation, I'd want to Rock Slide, but Dragon Claw feels like a decent follow-up. At least if I Dragon Claw Moltres, I can... Well, I don't think Thunder Punch would kill, actually. But I can Rock Slide. Dragon Claw Rock Slide will kill. Okay, didn't get any Quick Claw. I'm a bit worried that Dragon Claw might not kill. I was expecting Surf to do slightly more. It's Machamp last. That should be almost completely safe. It's very, very unlikely to be a Quick Claw Machamp because of Golem. Actually, would Golem 2 would have gone for Double Team. We wouldn't have known. There wouldn't have been any Focus Punch hint. So I guess the only thing left to worry about is Bright Powder and Focus Band. I can't do a lot about Focus Band, but I can use Aerial Ace, which is what I want to do anyway. I guess the question then becomes, do I want to switch Salamence out for Intimidate? And that feels like a waste. So Starmie's going to survive. Can we cleanly kill? So it wasn't Machamp 2. Was high risk. That doesn't mean much though, because Golem can activate that on its own. Total prep. Okay. So obviously total prep is kind of it's boosting moves basically. Moves like bulk up. Which is usually fine. I'm just a bit worried about double team. I do have Aerial Ace Elements on hand for that. It's probably an overheat Moltres. The problem with Moltres in the back, not a great electric switch in. I mean, Medicham isn't a great electric switch in either. Moltres in the back, a decent ice switch in for Celements. However, you know, a lot of Pokemon with Ice Beam are going to be water types. I'm probably going to be taking them out with Thunderbolt, Dragon Claw anyway. It's unlikely I'd be evacuating in that scenario. I'm kind of thinking about unknown Machamp. It's not fully unknown, right? Let's think about the Machamp sets. A lot of them are high risk. I guess Machamp 8, probably most likely. But the fact that Golem was on the team, it's pretty likely to have been any Machamp. The downside of Machamp is that it's, you know, if it's a cross-chop set, cross-chop not a terribly reliable move, but then Dynamic Punch even worse, I would say. Even worse. Machamp has some interesting support options. What's the worst doubles Machamp? What is the worst doubles Machamp? That's something to think about. I don't think it can be. It is very unlikely to be Machamp 3, which is the Quick Claw Punch Master set. Of the remaining ones, I would say Machamp 7 definitely the worst, but then Machamp 7 in the back in doubles, kind of interesting. It's quite good in extended Stool Wars as Machamp 7, particularly in a 2v1 scenario, which I think I'm likely to find myself in with a good lead, and I do have a good lead. The idea of it being Machamp 7 is kind of putting me off swapping for it, though. I am thinking about Moltres. What would be the worst scenario of Moltres? I feel like the worst Moltres set in doubles probably would be Moltres 1. But that's another Aerial Acer. I mean, maybe Moltres 3 is worse than Moltres 1. I think I'd rather have Moltres 3 than Medicham, even with the IV gap. I think I'm gonna take the Moltres. Not a good scenario for an electric opponent, but it's not an electric specialist. It's total prep. That is not really an electric phrase. What concerns me about this is if it is a bad Moltres set, I might be forced into swapping again, and I really don't know what's going to come up in this next match. I don't recognise this quote. Western, okay. Entei Heracross, not a surprise. That is definitely a total prep lead. So it's pretty likely to be Heracross 2 with bulk up then. Entei 1, most likely. I think it very unlikely to be Entei 2 unless there's a big total prep one in the back. Like another double total prep, I suppose it's possible. It's quite likely to be Entei 1, and then 3 or 4 more likely than 2 for certain. Let's have a look at the Moltres. Aha, it's... Wildcat was using this yesterday. How do I feel about Moltres 4 being in the back? It is nice in this specific game. Moltres is a very good Pokemon against Entei and Heracross. The only downside is I'm a little bit worried about Heracross 1 in that scenario because of Rock Tomb. It outspeeds and it Rock Tombs. Not as worried about Heracross 3 in doubles because Rock Slide is a nerfed move, so Moltres will survive that. But it's most likely to be Heracross 2, of course. Obviously, the focus band of Heracross 1 is a thing. I think it's very difficult to imagine me not using Aerial Ace into Heracross, though. Very, very hard to not see that being the play. The slight complication is the fact that Entei is going to speed tie my Celements. I'm still scabbing with the Aaron Cry point redeemed. I'm sorry. I do need to fix that, I know. The thing is, Entei 1 is just going to boost. Entei 1 is, in doubles in particular, super unlikely to attack. Same with Entei 3 and 4. Well, Entei 3 has to attack, but Entei 4 is going to double team. I'm basically bigging myself up to probably use Thunderbolt on Entei. Because I don't think the surf damage into Heracross doesn't seem like it does anything. Am I currently holding any world records? Not in Gen 3. I used to have the level 100 doubles record a few years ago. In Gen 4, I have Castle singles, Arcade singles, and then all the factory records, except for multis. I think the thing about using Thunderbolt is, if I'm going to get lucky, why don't I just get lucky and crit Psychic or Surf? Am I overthinking this? I don't really want to crit. I guess another, perhaps even better actually, is just to Psychic and Aerial Ace the Heracross slot, and we hit whatever comes in very likely with Aerial Ace. Psychic not guaranteed to kill Heracross. But hitting the Pokemon that switches in sounds good. I'm not that scared of Entei. The reason I kind of want to hit Entei though is I just don't want it to go out of control with boost, particularly on double team. I guess the point of if Entei does double team, I'll want to Aerial Ace it. And in that scenario, I definitely want to do the extra damage from Surf. Yeah, I'm using Surf. All of that thinking just to do the obvious. Okay. Well, It's not amazing damage into Heracross. I suspect that roll wouldn't have told me anything, though. Steelix last. I'm thinking about the Heracross. Flexibly adaptable to the situation. Okay, that is an interesting. That is a very, very interesting phrase. It means they've activated 3 or more of the other phrases. The thing about flexibly adaptable, and I suppose if Dave is still around, Dave might have looked into this more than I have. I feel like it's incredibly common for flexibly adaptable. What it actually means is high risk, high return. It's very, very likely to be high risk, high return. I also think slow and steady is probably the next most common one that gets activated. So high risk, high return, and slow is sort of how I interpret flexibly adaptable. Of course, the weather quote also quite easy to hit. But a lot of the weather sets do not activate too many other quotes. Flexibly adaptable. That is weird. I guess prep also somewhat likely. There's also the obviously a few sets activate impossible to predict by themselves. I guess those are maybe the most likely Pokemon to appear. I do not know the I don't know the lore behind flexibly adaptable really. Kind of wish I did now. But perhaps Trick Band, Alakazam. Perhaps quite likely. Thinking about the Heracross. Heracross versus Moltres in the back is a very interesting one. I'm a little bit concerned about the electric weakness I have right now with Starmie and Moltres. And electric weakness it's a worse weakness to have in doubles than it is in singles, I feel. It is also bad in singles, but I feel it's worse in doubles. But flexibly adaptable, I feel like that's not an electric hint. Obviously, Heracross has quite good special defense. I can be switching into electric moves quite easily. Same with ice moves, to be honest. In many ways, the Heracross is quite a good Pokemon to have in the back. And the fact it's Heracross 2, I mean, it's not the best Heracross set, but it's, I'd rather have Heracross 2 than Heracross 1. It's not too bad. I feel like Starmie is more likely to think than Celemon's probably on average. And obviously then I do have the option of Earthquake. God, flexibly adaptable. My mind just keeps going to a lot of the high risk sets. A lot of the high risk sets are waters and exploders, which I feel like biases a bit towards normal ground as well. Double edge, obviously. High risk. I wonder what the buddy would say. I'm not going to check, but I'm curious what the buddy would say. I might check later. I'm a little bit weak to water as well with this at the moment. Like, yeah, I can Thunderbolt, but Thunderbolt doesn't kill all the waters, and, it's no type freeze, but obviously in Gen 3, if multiple types tie for most common, then it's no phrase, and then it's no type, and then water is one of the most likely Pokemon types to tie as well. I'm going to take the Heracross. Okay, so flexibly adaptable. I might have to do a bit of thinking on turn 1 here. Wheezing Jinx. That is weird. Jinx is a Pokemon that activates a lot of phrases. So I'm thinking about Jinx 2. Jinx 2, Jinx 3 as well, I guess. That's points towards impossible. Could be a Pokemon with Curse in the back. Curse is a reasonably common move. Again, I'd be very interested to know what the buddy says about this, actually. I think it's very unlikely to be Jinx 1 or Jinx 4. Those are not big activations. I guess Jinx 4 being weakening, maybe. Okay, I'm going to actually put Jinx 4 back in mental consideration. I think 2, 3, and 4 from Jinx all fairly likely. With Wheezing, I feel like Wheezing 2 must be the most likely. Wheezing 2 activates high risk on its own, obviously. So Jinx is Bright Powder, Quick Claw, Lumberry. So yeah, there is Bright Powder overlap on Wheezing 1, Jinx 2. That does... I guess Wheezing 1, Jinx 4 does do weakening. And that's double slow as well. Could be Wheezing 1, Jinx 4. That doesn't seem impossible. And then a heavy... I guess it would probably have to be some kind of high risk plus slow one in the back. Not a lot of information from the types, I feel. Not a lot of information. I guess the fact it's Jinx, it's not going to be Alakazam. Let's have a look at what Heracross said. Oh, we got the bulk. It is Heracross 2. Okay, I'm just let's actually think about the match though. Obviously, the big temptation is to just Psychic Wheezing. I think Explosion is really reasonably likely. I also don't like... I think Memento could backfire on me as well. I don't like Destiny Bond. And I don't want to get Thunderbolted from Wheezing 3 either. A lot of reasons to Psychic Wheezing down. And then with Jinx, obviously only Jinx 1 and 4 actually have an ice move. I can attempt to kill them with Aerial Ace. Even if I don't kill, the fact that I bring them so low, I can use Surf next turn. The fact that Heracross is faster than Jinx, I think I'm safe. Not completely safe, but pretty safe. The worst thing Jinx could do actually is use Lovely Kiss. I do have Lumberry on Starmie, but not on Salamence. I'd rather get Ice Beamed into Salamence than Lovely Kissed. Lovely Kiss obviously much more likely from Jinx 2 and 3. Now, factoring in everything I said about flexibly adaptable, I think Jinx 2, Jinx 3 are the most likely. And that does matter a bit because in many ways, aerial acing those two isn't that important. I could easily aerial ace a Pokemon in the back. I could also double into Wheezing in case of Focus Band. Having said that, you know, I've intimidated Wheezing, like... It can explode. Explosion's pretty unlikely. And if it is Jinx 1 or... I just don't think it's very likely to be Jinx 1 or 4. Reflexibly adaptable. But if it is, I definitely want to aerial ace Lan. So let's say it is Wheezing 2, activating high risk on its own. It could be Jinx 1 then, couldn't it? At least Jinx isn't going to fake out. That is one thing. I'm also, if it's Jinx 2, I don't think I care. Actually, against Jinx 2, I would just want to kill Wheezing. Very much so. I am thinking more and more that I double target Wheezing. What should I use? I guess another possibility is that I rock slide, because the if Wheezing survives, it's only going to survive on 1 from Focus Band. Obviously, I've got a 10% miss into Wheezing then, but you know I'm already backing up. It would have to be 1% focus, as it would be 1% for Focus Band and for the miss as well. After that, a double 10%er. And if I rock slide Jinx, I can flinch it, obviously. And after the rock slide damage, the no bulk Jinxes, which is Jinx 1 and 4, will die to Surf. So I quite like rock slide actually. I'm gonna do that. Okay, perfect. It's not Focus Band. Registeel, so and it's leftovers. Surely that's 5 and not 4. Let's think about this a bit. So it's a bulky Jinx, definitely a bulky Jinx. So it's Jinx 2 or 3. Yeah, so Registeel 5 would activate Slow and Steady with Jinx. And then Substitute activates Impossible with Jinx 3. They both have Substitute, that's Impossible. So Slow and Impossible, and then Registeel 5 has Focus Punch, which is high risk. So as long as it wasn't Wheezing 1, that's high risk. So it's high risk, Slow and Steady, and Impossible. Can it be Jinx 2? Thanks, Bastardized. I'm just thinking. So can it be Jinx 2? Let's say it's Wheezing 2, which is that is immediately high risk. Jinx 2 is almost completing Slow. But Registeel 4 can't do that. Okay, could be Wheezing 1 is Slow weakening. And then Jinx 2 activates high risk with... It only activates high risk with Registeel 5, though. I think it has to be Registeel 5. I think it has to be Registeel 5. And I think because it's Registeel 5, it has to be Jinx 3. Yeah, this is a fun little scenario. I might actually... I was looking for a interesting human possible hint scenario to put in a video. I might put this one in, actually. It's a good one. Okay, so Jinx 3, Registeel 5. What do I want to do against these two clowns? I'm a bit worried about Registeel 5. It's going to double team. I do have Bulk Up Heracross in the back. I should be okay. Is Heracross Guts? Okay, that is even better. I think what I want to do, though, is get rid of Jinx more. I don't want Jinx 3 interfering here. I don't want Jinx Free to use Attract. I don't want it to use Lovely Kiss. I need to get Jinx Free off my screen. Surf does decent damage to Registeel. Unfortunately, this is giving Registeel a turn, but I do have... No, I've got to get rid of Jinx. And I'm not going to risk a Rock Slide miss. Okay, good. No Quick Claw. No Quick Claw. So yeah, I'm expecting double team. Yeah. So Surf does quite a bit more than Thunderbolt. The Paralysis would be good upside, but I really want to get Registeel below 70% so it doesn't use double team so much. So I'm going to use Surf. With Celements, I think I want to continue using Aerial Ace. Yeah, Stabby free. That's a really important hit. There's the next double team. That was fairly likely, but what's good about this is that Celements is effectively denying Leftovers healing, so I'm just waiting to hit, like, yeah, 1 or 2 more Surfs. It'll be enough. Okay, that's perfect. There's the Focus Punch. I actually hit every attack with Starmie. That's a bit lucky, but with Aerial Ace, I had that pinned. So yeah, Registeel 5. Let's say Registeel 5 and Jinx 3, which means that Weezing had a high risk move, but it doesn't have to be Weezing 2. It can be 2, 3, or 4. Those all qualify. Doesn't matter too much. I'm not taking those. I'm quite happy with the team. Heracross 2, not perfect, but I quite like the fact that I'm blocking Heracross, actually. I don't really want to run into Heracross with Starmie again. I don't like the hacks items that Heracross can have, combined with the massive power. No phrase. I can't really take those. Interesting. Suicune, Mischievous, but no phrase. That is unusual. Mischievous is a very phrase-heavy Pokemon. So it's not Mischievous 2, which would be slow and steady. It's not Mischievous 3, which would be slow and steady as well. And Mischievous 1 and 4 are high risk. And Mischievous 1 is slow. It's probably Mischievous 4. Could be Mischievous 1. Probably 4. Suicune, though... I guess no Suicune actually activates a phrase on its own, but they all trigger something. It's quite unlikely to be Suicune 1, I feel. Suicune 1 and 2... I think it's more likely to be 3 or 4, which is not good because those are the Ice Beamers. I'm thinking about bringing Celements out. I'm a little bit worried about Mischievous then, though. I don't want to get paralyzed. And I'm a bit worried about Thunderbolt into Starmie as well. I got to keep you waiting. Another option, of course, is that I can just stay in with Celements. Say, if I get hit by Ice Beam, it doesn't matter. I suppose I should also be thinking it might be Suicune 1 or 2, but if it is Suicune 1 or 2, I think I really want it with Thunderbolt. And bringing Celements out, if it is going to double team, not a terrible idea as well. What sucks about bringing Heracross in with Starmie, though, is that I can't Earthquake, really. And Megahorn is not a good move against Mischievous. There's no water in the back, which is good news. There's no Ghost as well. The fact that there's no Water and Ghost in the back, I kind of want to keep Settlements, I think. I guess the fact there's no Ghost in the back also is a point towards trying to keep Heracross. I'm very worried about Thunderbolt, though. I mean, it'd have to crit Starmie to be a big problem. If Starmie takes Suicune out with it, and Mischievous spends its turns doing that, I think that's fine. And Heracross can Mega Horn the Pokemon in the back on the turn that Starmie finishes off Suicune. I'm going to do that. Oh, it's Lum. That is obviously Suicune free. Okay. It's Mizzy 1. So the Pokemon in the back is not slow and steady and is not high risk. That's actually good information. And Suicune 3 is obviously Rain Dance, so the Pokemon in the back also does not have a weather move. I did say I was going to Thunderbolt and Mega Horn the Suicune slot. Have I changed my mind? I don't think so. I need Suicune gone before Settlements can come in. And I'm not Earthquaking next to Starmie. That would be insane. My Natural Cure. That's a good question, actually. I am. So I'm Natural Cure and Guts. And therefore the Thunder Wave is not quite so bad. I think I'm just going to Thunderbolt. The alternative would be Bulk Up, but Heracross is low. I guess I could attract Mischievous. Ooh, do I want to do that? Do I want to attract Mischievous? Mischievous is not a big problem. I can Psychic Dragonclaw it later. Mega Horn could be game winning. No high risk, no Stow and Steady. So I'm not. I would normally be worried about like a last one Snorlax or something, but I'm not that worried about Snorlax given that information. Really, it's not very likely. It's a flyer, but it can't be Settlements. I've got Settlements. Even if it's Gyarados, because I'm Natural Core, I can switch out. I'm not seeing the downside. Please hit it, please hit it, please hit it. Okay, nice. Okay. So it's not Xatu 2 or 4, because those are slow and steady. It is 1 or 3 guaranteed from Xatu. So it's going to Drill Peck Heracross, therefore. RF Pokemon, hi. I think Natural Cure makes a lot of sense, and also the to get an additional Intimidate on Mischievous 1 would be big, and then obviously Intimidate not that helpful against Xatu, but it's something. Should we hit it? Yes, but the music will not be in the VOD. I say as I check the VOD settings. Yeah. Right, the Natural Cure and Intimidate makes too much sense. And then I Mega Horn Xatu, because if I hit it, I don't die. and there's... I actually forgot that Heracross was Lumberry as well. Okay, this is very over. Mischievous will die when Starmie comes back in. I guess it was more likely to be Xatu 1 because Xatu 3 has bulk. Take Suicune for the time 3 Lumberry team. I must say, Suicune in the back is very tempting. I'm just a bit worried about the Thunderbolt weakness. No type, no phrase. Suicune is a much better Pokemon than Heracross, but it is doubles, and I'm a little bit worried about the electric. There's only 2 games left as well. I think I like staying not vulnerable to one particular type. It gives me more flexibility at the end. Because, you know, what if the game after this is like an ice spec? I don't really want to be swapping out Salamence and then keeping a water weakness. I don't think I'll be swapping out Salamence anyway in that scenario, though. I think I'm going to keep. There is one point... No, it is TOS, but it's only live. So a lot of streamers do this where there is TOS music played live, but then in the VOD, there is no music. Frank Bavenda. I'm going to stick. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about electric. I'm concerned about, like... I mean, not that. I don't know, actually. It'd be a bit of a wacky... It would have to be Starmie faints, and then there's an electric in the back or something. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I think Suicune actually would be a fine take. Another thing about this is that if I have more swaps, I'm going to have more elevations next round, which is fewer random IV Pokemon. But how many times have I swapped? I've swapped for Salamence and Heracross. And I swapped, like, the first game is considered a swap. So I think I'm already on 36, so I don't actually need another swap. So I'm gonna stick. Victory on the back. This is also a bit of a weird combination to be free-spirited. Like, I guess no Vileplume set activates a phrase on its own, right? Because Vileplume 1 is double endurance. Vileplume 3 is double slow. We know a little bit about Machamp. It's not Machamp 8, which is high risk on its own. I feel like it's quite unlikely to be a high-risk Machamp. I guess... there could be a Pokemon in the back which doesn't activate us. There's also no fighting type in the back. I guess Breloom could be in the back actually, so not guaranteed, but interesting. I've got a lot of options on what to do here. I am leaning towards Psychic on Machamp. I don't know. What is Salamence going to do if I Psychic Machamp? I could double up on Machamp because Machamp 2 would live. But it's like Machamp 2 is going to bulk up. It's not going to do anything. Machamp 3 could Quick Claw, Ice Punch Salamence, but I probably live that. I guess Machamp 3 is quite likely. I guess actually worse than that. Machamp 3 could Quick Claw, Thunder Punch, High Roll, Crit, Starmie. That would be a blow. But Machamp is intimidated. Like, actually, I'm actually wondering if I should be going for Vileplume and not Machamp. The problem with doing that is that if I Psychic Vileplume and I Aerial Ace Machamp, I could get countered. And I don't like that. So yeah, Vileplume 4 is actually going to Solar Beam. Vileplume 3 is going to Stun Spore. Vileplume 2 is going to double... Like, Vileplume 2 doesn't matter at all. Vileplume 1, in many ways, is actually the most annoying one, and it's just going to attack. It's not going to do much. Like, it's intimidated. It's going to see Pedal Dance as best move into Starmie. I don't think I care about any Vileplume. I think Machamp is the bigger threat just because of the Quick Claw. Let's get rid of Machamp. Do I want to Aerial Ace or not? I mean, Aerial Ace is not going to kill Vileplume 1 or 2. I think it's less likely to be those. At the same time, it would be nice to do chip damage so I can kill them next turn. Yeah, let's not overthink this. Vileplume 4, okay. I should switch. I do not want to get Quick Claw Solar Beamed on this turn. That would suck. It's Moltres though, like it's Vileplume. I guess it's quite likely to be Moltres. It actually can't be Moltres 3 because of the weather quote. It wasn't weather quote, so it's Moltres 1, very, very likely. Incredibly likely to be Moltres 1. And that matters because it might Aerial Ace Starmie, which would become Heracross, obviously. I'm wondering if I Rock Slide here. It's possible it's Moltres 2, right? If it wasn't a high-risk Machamp. And it wasn't an Endurance Machamp. Surely I switch. I mean, I can switch. I can actually Rock Slide because Vileplume can't Quick Claw Solar Beam again. Do this, and then I Rock Slide. Okay. Yeah, it's Moltres 1. I don't remember putting this in the playlist. Zertwist is that does it. There are some weird sets. Need to I think I looped too far and started playing random stuff. Okay. Psychic No Phrase is a little bit spooky. Psychic No Phrase basically means Latties. I'm not too bad against Latties, obviously, because Celements is faster than... Celements is faster than them and Starmie is faster than them, so I can just Ice Beam, Dragon Claw them. It's just a bit annoying that I get distracted, and Heracross isn't too bad either. In many ways, more threatening than Latties would be probably Metagross. Metagross would be annoying. That's a bit difficult. Like, what is better actually in terms of like, because Heracross is a strange matchup into Heracross is a strange matchup into Psychic types. Obviously, Heracross is faster than the Latis because Heracross has speed investment. It probably is Heracross. I'm a bit nervous about using Megahorn. Heracross is also better into Metagross. There's a few other really annoying things that could pop up, like Espeon. I also don't want to see a Gardevoir lead. I think that would also suck. What would I be swapping for, though? I don't know the Machamp set. It was Vileplume 4, which is terrible, and Moltres 1. I could take Moltres 1. I'm not going to do it, though. Hopefully it's Executor, Hypno, Jinx, Claydol. Yeah, I'll take all of those. Looking at the things that squad was. Xatu as well. Yeah. How about those come out? Okay. Oh, this kind of sucks, actually. Oh, this kind of sucks. I'm really worried about Electabuzz 3. Electabuzz 3 is faster than Salamence. It's also quite likely to be Electabuzz 3, because there's no spec. So the most likely Metagross surely is Metagross 4 and 6. And 7, actually, which all activate no phrase. It's a Psychic type in the back. I'm just weighing up how scared I am of Explosion. I'm, like, a bit scared of it. It's very difficult to play against Metagross, especially potential Quick Claw. Potential Quick Claw Explosion from 5 and 8. If I do damage to it, I make it more likely to explode. But also I can't kill it from full. My initial feeling is maybe I just surf. The problem with surf is I want to kill Electabuzz really badly. Especially if it's not Electabuzz 3, it's very important what I choose to do with Salamence. Metagross looks so much better than the enemy team, it is, yeah. Like, one way to play around Explosion is just to kill the Pokemon on the side and kill the Pokemon on the back as well. I think I'm in huge trouble if it's Electabuzz 3. I cannot stop it using a move, and it's going to randomly target either Salamence or Starmie. It's going to kill them. In many ways, I think I'd rather it actually kill Starmie. It is more likely to go for Salamence, though, because of the 4-time super effective AI AI thing on the kill check. I'm also really concerned that if I even if I get the attack off Salamence, it's got static. If Starmie goes down and Salamence is paralyzed and Metagross is at full health, how am I winning? I would need the final Pokemon to be Earthquakeable. And it's a Psychic type. It's quite likely to be a Lati in the back. It is really quite likely. Like, it's not impossible to switch. If I really want to keep something alive, it's not impossible to switch. But Starmie and Salamence are both not that good into Metagross. Oh man. I do have the option of I don't know. I feel very pinned here. I don't think it even really makes sense to save Starmie. Like, if I switch Starmie and Electabuzz 3 uses Ice Punch on Salamence, I'm kind of boned. I might kind of need the final... I suppose the final Psychic type could be a physical set. It could also be a terrible set, like Egg. Could be Claydol. Could be quite a few... I don't know. Bum, bum, bum. Just did the calc. Electabuzz 1 does OK Slimy, so they... Every single Electabuzz sees a kill. I guess objectively speaking, it is more likely that Starmie goes down. Electabuzz 3 is only one set. Basically, I'm wondering if I should actually Thunderbolt the Metagross. I would need to get 2 pretty strong attacks in the Metagross to make sure that Earthquake kills. I might be lost. I think I might always be lost if Ice Punch does happen into Salamence. Although I guess I can. I can. I can Earthquake Starmie. It's not the end of the world. I would do. I do around 60. Thanks, Riku. Heracross and Salamence in a 1v1. In a 2v1. Also thinking about the Quick Claw again. It's so difficult to play around that, man. In many ways, maybe Electabuzz 1 is the worst case scenario, because it's going to survive Earthquake. I really think I've got to go for the Metagross though. What's risky about this is that in many ways the worst case is actually Metagross 5, right? Because Metagross 8 is going to Meteor Mash. It can't Earthquake thanks to Electabuzz. It's going to Metagross 8 with Meteor Mash Salamence. Metagross 4 also does that, but at least that way they see a kill on Salamence. I'm going to be able to Earthquake if that happens. I think if Ice Punch comes into Salamence... I mean, Heracross does survive the mash. What is weirdly scary then is actually Psychic. I can't do much about that though. I think I'm gonna go for the Metagross. I think it's the best idea. I hadn't thought about this. I'm wondering if I should Headbutt or Dragon Claw. The damage from... I'm very concerned about the amount of damage that I do with Earthquake into the bulkier sets, though. I am King's Rock. I get the flinch chance either way. It's just 30% versus 10%. I'm going to Dragon Claw, I think. There is one more thing to think about, actually, which is freaking Metagross 6. 6 and 7 are going to go for Salamence. But that's only bad if it's Electabuzz 1, because I can Earthquake. It's only bad if it's Electabuzz 1. I am actually happy with this. Thunderbolt. Oh, I'm not sure. I think that's a bulkier Salamence. I mean, Metagross. Which might be good news. Yeah, the flinch is big. The flinch is really big, actually. So what should I do here? It's not free. It's not free because Salamence move first. It's 1 or 4. 1 lives the Earthquake. I think I have to go for the Electabuzz. It does suck because of static. Electabuzz won't kill Heracross. I'm gonna have to Dragon Claw it. Maybe Headbutt is enough. I'm just gonna Dragon Claw it. Oh, there's the Quick Claw. There's the Quick Claw. No crit at least. So this was meta 4 or 8. It was actually 8, wasn't it? It's too bulky to be 4. And there's the static. Man. Oh, they're static. And I am not going to complain too much about RNG. I did flinch Metagross, which... Heracross is faster, but... I've got a Mega Horn here. This really sucks. If Salamence wasn't paralyzed, I could just Earthquake Aerial Ace. because they're both faster. Do I know anything about this Alakazam? Obviously, it's not free. I don't think I know anything about it. I think it could be any. Like, if I Earthquake and Alakazam goes for Heracross, I mean, it would have to... And Salaman's fully paralyzes, that is bad. Alakazam 1 and 4 obviously have Ice Punch. If they go for Salamence and not Heracross, I win. Unless Bright Powder or Focus Band. I'm wondering if Mega Horn is better. If Alakazam tries to kill Salamence, I win. Because they can just Earthquake twice. But I guess in that scenario, I would have 2 chances of hitting Mega Horn. And double Mega Horn miss is only a 2.25% chance. Now, if Alakazam goes a Heracross, and it is Alakazam 1 or 4, then Salamence must not be fully paralyzed. Also, if I Earthquake, I have the chance to crit. I do have the chance to crit in that scenario as well, which is quite nice. I think I should Earthquake. My initial feeling was definitely Mega Horn, but the more I think about it, the more I think I should Earthquake. For Earthquake to lose, first off, it's a 50-50 which one it goes for. In fact, the Ice Punch sets are more likely to go for Salamence because of 4 times super effective AI. So it's not even 50-50, it's better than 50-50. Heracross more likely to live. If it's Alakazam 2, it can't kill Salamence in one shot anyway. %50 to hit, say 50% to hit Heracross. 25% full paralyze. I am a bit scared of that, I guess. It's 12.5. Because Mega Horn isn't an instant loss if it misses. I think it's... Yeah, actually it's Mega Horn. It is Mega Horn. Oh, shoot. And we ace because of Bright Powder on Alakazam 4. Okay, perfect. I never doubted Heracross 2. Heracross 2 is a strange, strange creature. Max HP, max speed. Please say that was 36. It was 37, even better. So because it's 37, I have 4 elevations on round 9, which means I have 2 random IV Pokemon and 4 31 IV Pokemon. So the first 4 Pokemon are going to be 31 IV, and then the last 2 are going to be random IV. Okay. High risk is a pretty common phrase. Oh, it's a modest Regice. That's good. I'm such a fan of the modest ones compared to the quiet ones. I think it's a big deal. Okay, it's 6. Regice 6, very interesting one in the back. Bulk Beam with Rest. A lot of inevitability against a lot of the very annoying enemy sets. It's very bulky. It's surprisingly quick. It will never be truly fast, but it is fast in the uninvested base 60s, which is a really big deal. The quiet ones don't achieve that. Uninvested base 60s, of course, is 66 speed. Regi 6 is really good in singles, yeah. It is better in singles than it is in doubles. No doubt about that. Okay. Why isn't the draw thing working? Hello? It doesn't want to show up for Metacham 1, but whatever. Probably not taking Metacham. I wonder what is... Oh, it's going to be high jump kick. It's going to be high jump kick. It can't read the move high jump kick because it's expecting H-I-G-H. That'll be it. Ursa 2. Pretty good. Pretty solid. Urswing 2... I mean, we just had a round where Intimidate on the lead was proved to be a bit of a problem. Raikou 2... It is an exceptionally powerful mix in special attacker. This thing hits so hard. What's scary about this is the fact that it's got to use Thunders quite often. Okay. I do quite like Blaziken. I do quite like the reversal sets. It's a bit weird in doubles. What is fancy about this maybe is that I could Earthquake and Endure. Oh, we've been... Oh no, the speed is very good actually. The speed is very good. Which is quite important. Okay, that's an interesting last option. 161. That's not bad. It hasn't got shafted too badly by the random IVs as well. I'm honest. Oh wow, that's interesting. The Espeon has perfect attack. Ooh, that makes Espeon very, very tempting. This Espeon has really good random IVs. This is a very good Espeon. The speed is almost perfect. The attack is bad. It does suck a bit. The attack is bad. I think it's a 13. It's a 12 or 13. Is it? No, it's a 13 or 14. I forgot which way around it goes on the rounding. Is the draft good enough to leave Raikou 2 behind? I really like the Regice, Urswing, Blaziken, Espeon as options. I gotta admit, I quite like the idea of leaving Blaziken behind. Yeah, I agree with Elrixie. I mean, if you bring Raikou 2, you have to hit Thunders. Reflect is an interesting option, but you have to hit your Thunders with this thing. It is a risky mon. I would much rather use Raikou 2 than a bad Pokemon though. Because like yeah, if Thunder misses, it does no damage. But you know what else does no damage? Is like if Fortress just dies without using a move. That also does 0 damage. I guess on a rain team maybe you could like justify it a bit more. You know what? I kind of like the idea of leading Regice just because I'm a little bit worried about Intimidate onto Urswing. Urswing 2 is a really good Pokemon. It's just I am hurt quite badly by being intimidated. The Espeon Urswing will kill basically everything in the game. If they want to. If they want to go all out on it. Urswing is a big beneficiary of it's a big beneficiary of the IV advantage as well. a lot of the fighting types you're a bit concerned about are actually slower. Fortress. Got very lucky on this Espeon. Very lucky. Espeon Urswing, also known as XD mode, that's a good point. I quite like this. I quite like the lead reflect as well. I'm down for the Espeon. I think the Espeon is a nice option. Got very lucky on the IVs in this Espeon. I think the question is if Urswing goes in the back or not. What I don't like about Urswing Regice is the double fighting weakness is a little bit awkward. It is high risk. High risk does slightly suggest fighting. A lot of fighting types do run double edge, cross drop, and so on. It was no spec. I don't know. I'm leaning towards putting Regice in the back. Resto, Chesto. It's that the basic idea is it's better in 1v1s because it's a better singles one. It's more likely to find itself in a 1v1 if it's in the back. I think I'm going to just go with that logic. Just put this in. It's a pretty good team. This is like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Oh god, I said it. It's like a 6 or 7 out of 10 draft. It's slightly above average. It's slightly above average as a draft. It's not one of these double drafts that is just going to smoke everything though. The swap options are a bit interesting. What I like about this as well is that I feel like Urswing and Regice are both Pokemon I can swap out. I'll probably only swap out one of them for the round, and I like the flexibility of having either be an option. High risk. Okay, I mean, Moltres 4 activates on its own. I guess it is a bit more likely to be Jinx 2. I'm a bit worried about Moltres 4. Moltres 4 is going to murder Espeon. The FEQ might be a bit outdated, sorry. It might be best to switch out Espeon and just double-edge the Moltres. What I'm worried about there is I'm worried about Jinx using Lovely Kiss. I don't know. I could bite Jinx, I guess. I don't know. I need Moltres gone. I need Moltres gone, man. It is possible that it's not Moltres 4. Moltres 2 is much, much less likely to kill Espeon because it's not got a special attack boosting nature. Jinx 2 could kind of suck if I don't know. I'm a bit nervous about Jinx 2 in a 2v2 situation or even a 3v2 situation. That is also bad. It's probably a high risk one in the back. I'm a little bit tempted to bring Regice in. Regice doesn't take... Well, it does take a lot from Overheat, actually. It's not true. Yes. Yeah, this is a factory. These are rented Pokemon. When these Pokemon first came out, I'll answer in chat. When these Pokemon first came out, my initial reaction was just to kill Moltres. Go all in on trying to kill it. Regice's chest, though, I don't think I'm too concerned about Jinx. Fake tears. Okay, Espeon's mega dead. The fake tears means it could have been, this could have been Moltres 2 or 4. Again, 4 is more likely because it has double high risk on overheat and double edge together. Okay, good. Articuno. That is weird. So it's more likely to be Articuno 3 or 4. Facade and double edge. But if it was Moltres 4, it can just be any set. Regice dominates Jinx really badly. It's really, really good for me. Jinx 4 versus Regice because of clear body. I just need to kill Articuno, man. Can't beat RT1. Because of a Lumberry, good point. Yep. Item clause. You are right. Tom. Let's kill Artie. It is pretty simple. I need to kill Artie. I don't care about recoil. Shit, it's RT2. Please. I was not guaranteed to kill, I'm sure. Right, get rid of this. Okay. It's a good thing that Regice dominates Jinx. I guess slightly underrated part of Regice is that it can't be slept. Like, it can't be frozen, sorry. Oh no, lovely kiss. That could have been way worse. So in hindsight, it was Moltres 4, because it had to be high risk on its own. So I need to rest to unlock Goated Espeon. So the rest trick is that Espeon had random IVs. Well, it had very good IVs, but it had random IVs. After I rest, all of its IVs become its attack IV. And its attack IV was 31. Or maybe it was 30. So Espeon now has perfect IVs. If we go back in, you can see. The fact that it has 200 special attack, it actually is 31 because it's modest. That's interesting. I'm wondering about Moltres 4. I'm a little bit weak to Rock, but Rock isn't like a real move in Gen 3 doubles because of Rock Slide being nerfed. Ancient Power does exist, and Aero 2, for example, does exist, but it's pretty rare, and like Armaldo and like Aero, I'm not too concerned about them really. I'm really thinking about bringing Moltres onto the team over Ursaring. I do have to hit overheats though. That is a problem. So yeah, the thing about the IVs in Gen 3 is that these 31 IV Pokemon, they have basically an 84 base stat total advantage over the 3 IV enemies, which is a bit like Mega Evolving in relative terms. It's a little bit like I've got Mega Espeon, Mega Urswing, and Mega Regice. And obviously I can still lose, but it is quite a big concession to give up the IV advantage. I'm actually going to stick. So this was a free-spirited no type spec. And I just realised that last match was double flying, double psychic. Yeah, they might end up doing that. I think the Pokemon Company is very aware that the evolutions are top mascots. Okay. So free-spirited, it's interesting that Shuckle is out, actually. Can't be Granbull 2. Granbull 2 activates high risk on its own. I think I need to murder Granbull. I don't want Granbull 4 to do anything. And Shuckle is not going to beat Regice. Like, the worst case scenario would be Shuckle 3. But I have Synchronized Espeon. I'm just gonna kill Granbull. If it is Granbull 3, it could live. So I'm gonna double it. I'm quite likely to hit the Pokemon in the back. That's why I'm gonna use Double Edge over Brick Break. Awesome. Big crit. That crit definitely mattered. There's Defense Curl from Shuckle 1. By Abby. What an awful stench. That is very rude. No type slow and steady. I mean... slow and steady is probably a good phrase for this team, given I've got a Lumberry Espeon, got a Guts Urswing, I've got a Rest Talk, Chesto Berry Regice. It probably was Granbull 4, but I don't care. I've been hearing about you. Okay. Obviously, slow and steady Raikou does mean Thunder Wave incredibly likely. It's probably not Raikou 2, basically. And Thunder Wave Raikou is going to go for Thunder Wave on Espeon, which is not bad because we've got Synchronized Lumberry. So I'm happy to leave Raikou there for a turn. Even if it is Raikou 4, which is Raikou 2, which is very unlikely, I don't mind too much giving it a turn. Slow and steady Xatu, it does heavily suggest Xatu 2, or Xatu. Xatu 4 is also slow and steady with Confuse Ray. So slow and steady moves, for context, are they're basically moves that target the enemy and inflict status. That is a good way to think about slow and steady. I don't know. I quite like using Bite on Xatu and just going for the double edge into Raikou. If it's a bulky Xatu, it will live the bite, and if it's a... I was thinking. It's very unlikely to reflect Raikou. I guess if it's Zatu 2, it can be Raikou 2 quite easily, and then it could reflect and live double edge, but like, oh, screw it. Let's kill it. That's a bulky one. It's probably Zatu 2. Oh no! You poisoned my guts, Pokemon. Okay, Hariyama. I mean, unless Quick Claw, this is over. Actually, I also have Quick Claw, so I'd have to. It'll be Quick Claw, and I lose a speed tie. Okay, it's over. I guess Hariyama 1 could focus band, but no such luck. Impossible to predict is an interesting one. So, skill swap, substitute, trick. It is a little bit... Oh, and curse. It is a little bit... It's a little bit of a spooky one. I do not like facing curse mons. Obviously, the really big, scary curse mon is Snorlax. I'm not too afraid of Snorlax. Like, I do have bulky. What's a bit annoying about Snorlax is the fact that if it's thick fat, Regice doesn't do great damage into it. But I can Merc Snorlax on turn 1. I can just kill it. It's only interesting because of the Raikou. It's not Raikou 2. I do like fast support. I could put Raikou in the back. I'm just gonna stick with Regice though. I think if it was a quiet Regice, I might swap. Okay, it's very likely to be Machamp 7 because of substitute. There are a few Pokemon that obviously activate Impossible to Protect on their own, but Machamp is very likely here. Machamp 7. With that in mind, what do I want to do? I'm actually going to check the weather AI on Electabuzz 2. So Electabuzz 2, Rain Dance, is a faster check. Because Electabuzz 2 is faster than Ursaring, it's always going to use Rain Dance. Unless Quick Claw is going to activate this turn. And I guess Cross Chop from Electabuzz 4 could kill Ursaring with a crit as well. Electabuzz 1, not so much of a problem. It's going to want to Thunder Wave Espeon. I really like killing Machamp 7. Now, if it is Machamp 7, it's kind of bad news because it does increase the chance that there's some other substitute or curse mon in the back. Could be Gengar free as well. That's skill swap. Let's remove Electabuzz though. Like Psychic EQ here. Sorry, Espeon. It's fine. Double Edge will kill Electabuzz. It'll even kill Electabuzz 1, which is the bulky one. Yeah, it is indeed Machamp 7. We didn't miss, which is important. And that will be a curse Snorlax. And it's Electabuzz 1. Hopefully we don't get paralyzed on static. I mean, on the other hand, the guts boost does mean that we truly murder this. Right. So the curse Snorlax sets are 2, 4, and 7, right? Yep. So it's 2, 4, or 7. 2/3 chance to have a quick claw. The best one would actually be 7. 7 is just going to Hyper Beam. I'm most concerned about 4. I mean, okay, 4 would only be bad if Ursaring gets fully paralyzed. I could actually switch here. It saves Espeon against Hyper Beam and Double Edge. I'm a little bit concerned about Snorlax 2 if I switch, though. If it curses and I fully para, that's not good. That is really not good. I think I have to stay in. It's probably Espeon dead. What is interesting about this potentially is using Reflect. I'm actually going to Reflect, I think. It saves me from 4 and 7. It's not too bad against 2. At least against 2, it's going to survive. The, yeah, I'm going to Reflect. I'm going to... Do I care about the recoil? If I hit Double Edge, it's kind of over. Let's stay healthy. Let's stay healthy so I'm not in, Am I in Double Edge kill range? I probably am, actually. Maybe just outside. Let's not encourage the, or do I... No, I don't know. Actually, isn't it better if it attacks? It is better if it attacks, surely. The Reflect makes this a bit weird, is the thing. Okay, it's a Quick Claw. Got a recharge, which means this is over. I don't think I'm taking Snorlax 7. High risk. I don't think I can take Snorlax 7. I haven't really got a team that's set up to spam Earthquake. Quick Claw isn't my favourite. I don't like Hyper Beam that much because of the mischance. We'll stick with the Mega Pokemon. High risk Starmie. That's interesting. It's almost certainly Typhlosion free, I guess. Double high risk. It'll be 3 or 4 on Typhlosion. It's actually possible for Typhlosion to endure this turn. And the reason for that is because it's next to a Pokemon that isn't immune to Earthquake. It would be quite a serious mistake to give Typhlosion free a Salac boost. Quite a serious mistake. Don't really have any information about Starmie. I kind of like the idea behind Wish and Reflect. They can both be defended. I think probably the best idea is to go for a flinch, though. Go for the bite flinch. And Bite could crit as well. And that would give Urswing a free shot. I could, of course, miss Starmie as well. That's another reason to double up into it. On the other hand, the reason to go for Typhlosion is I don't really want to face Typhlosion with Regice. Regice would be fine against Typhlosion 3, but Typhlosion 4 would get the 2-shot with Overheat. No, there aren't, CISO. I think we'll go for the double up into Starmie. It makes a lot of sense to me. I could Brick Break. It wouldn't be a great idea against the bulky ones, is the weird thing. It's big damage. It's Psychic Starmie. Overheat. No White Herb, so it's Typhlosion 3. Hold on, what was that Starmie then? It was no bulk, Psychic. Like, isn't Starmie 7 more likely to use Cosmic Power? It's interesting. Might be taking that Starmie. It's going to be difficult. I don't think I want 5 or 7 though. Steelix. Are Fire Red Leaf Green move tutors in the Frontier? Like the moves? I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable about Fire Red Leaf Green outside of those moves. The good news about this is that this Steelix is not going to explode. It can be any Steelix because Typhlosion 3 activates high risk on its own. Blast Burn, Hydro Cannon, and Frenzy Plant, yeah. It's a bit tricky to know what to do here. I am strongly thinking about killing Steelix. I can do that with Psychic Ice Beam. Again, huge Regice value that I do have the outspeed on Steelix. I'm just a bit worried about the Quick Claw. There's an argument to be made for Reflect, and there's an argument to be made for Psychic. I think there's a bigger argument for Psychic, though, because I can then bite Typhlosion the following turn. There it is. I could even bite this turn. I don't know. I'm not that concerned about Typhlosion. I just want to kill Steelix. Hopefully this is Steelix 1 or 2. Then I'd be completely safe. There's the Quick Claw. Quick Claw. I won this Quick Claw speed tie. What is bad about this is the fact that it is obviously now an Explosion Steelix. It's not good for me. And Typhlosion's going to use Overheat because it kills. I can't do anything about Quick Claw Explosion. I hope Regice is in Iron Tail kill range. Always. Espeon is never going to choke the 1v1 to Typhlosion. Okay, good. Okay, that's good to know, Demon Days. Fire. So it's very, very likely to be the Sunny Day fire types. So, Blaziken 1, Arcanine 2, Rapidash 3, Ninetales 1, Charizard 1, Typhlosion 1, Entei 2. All of the geezers. I'm really thinking about the Starmie. The Starmie interests me as this fast one in the back. It is double psychic, but double psychic not the worst. Regice, of course, is not bad into fire types. Yes, it has the type weakness, but it has such high special defense, it kind of doesn't matter. I could even drop Urswing. But Urswing is also pretty good into fires. I think I'm just going to... Since there's 2 battles left, I'm going to take the Starmie. Oh, it's probably Wolverine 1 then. It is very likely Wolverine 1, Ninetales 2. Problem with Wolverine 1 is that it's guaranteed to either protect or hail, and protect is a lot more likely in doubles because it's a 50-50 on whether it gets +1 or +2 with protect into either Espeon and Urswing, and the fact that it's got 2 rolls at the +2 means that it's very likely that protect beats hail to +2 instead of +1, and even if it doesn't, it's a tie. So for it to use hail on turn 1, it's got to be 25% that they both miss +2, and then it's got to lose the tie. So it's 87.5% that Wolverine is going to use protect. Of course, it doesn't have to be Wolverine 1. It could be one of the other sets, and then there's a weather Pokemon in the back. Same with Ninetales. It doesn't have to be Ninetales 2. It could be one of the others, and then there's a Weathermon in the back. All of that said, it is obviously pretty likely that it is Wolverine 1, and I think because of that, it is a good idea to either go for Ninetales or to go for a Reflect. Let's check out what the Starmie is, actually. Ooh. That is the second best outcome, I think, after Starmie 3. Okay, I feel a bit better with... I guess I kind of wanted to Surf, but not really. So what should I do here? Should I just go for the bite on Ninetales, try and flinch it? What is Ninetales 2 going to do in terms of the AI as well, actually? Ninetales 2. It's not broken. Okay. I could Psychic and then I take less recoil damage, but I don't think it really matters. Also, I could Quick Claw, and then I would also rather use Psychic. Okay, it is Wolverine 1. And there's the Quick Claw. It's Houndoom in the back. It doesn't have to be Houndoom 4 though. Because if that was Ninetales 2, I suppose it's more like it is quite likely to be Houndoom 4. It's not guaranteed though. It's tricky because Wolverine can also use Protect on this turn. It is possible. I don't really want to stay in to be hit by Crunch from Houndoom 4 or Houndoom 2 with Espeon. I don't know. It's a bit tricky actually. I think I do have to Psychic Wolverine. The thing about Wolverine 1 is it's just not very threatening. I just don't really care. If it is Houndoom 1 or 3, it could go for Ursaring instead of Espeon. And Houndoom 4 isn't broken either. It's Sunny Day in the last slot, right? I'm leaning heavily towards Bite and Brick Break into Houndoom. I mean, Yawn could be annoying, but it has to use Hail before Yawn does Wolverine. I think the best thing I can do is try and flinch it in case it's a Crunch Houndoom. And no point taking Recoil here. I got another Quick Claw. Okay. It's not using Protect. It's probably using Hail then. Yeah. So now that it's used Hail, it is incredibly likely to use Protect. Okay, I could just crit, sure. that was a pretty lucky game with the Quick Claws. High risk. I don't actually know what the Houndoom was. I think I'm going to stick. Like, yes, there are some bad high-risk mons, but I think the real thing I'm frightened of is actually Quick Claw from the high-risk mons. Quick Claw messing around with Espeon and Starmie, and I can't do anything against that except for keep my own Quick Claw Ursaring around. The senior little phase. I can't think about a reason to swap, really. If anything, I kind of want Regice back. Just for this game. Registeel Machamp. So Registeel 3 is pretty likely here. Counter an Explosion. Registeel 5 also because of Focus Punch being high risk. A lot of high risk Machamp sets. Most likely is Machamp 8, which activates high risk on its own. But there are a lot of high risk Machamp sets. I guess it's unlikely to be 2, 3, or 4. Since those aren't high risk. It is difficult to think of a reason not to just immediately attack Machamp with Espeon. The thing is, what does Ursaring do here? Like, the obvious thing to do is to Brick Break Registeel, which would be important damage if it is Registeel 5. Also potentially important damage into Registeel 3 as well. And the upside of Brick Break is that if it is Registeel 3, and Registeel 3 does use counter, which is fairly likely, I'm not actually dead. Because there's a lot of upside to just using the obvious attacks. The other thing Urswing could do is I could also target the champ because of the risk of Focus Band. Like, even if that happens, like, you know, Starmie's coming out. Like, okay, Focus Band activates, Urswing dies, Starmie comes out, the champ is going down. I've hit Registeel already with a Brick Break. It's going to be a 2v1 very soon anyway. I guess if that happens, I would be nervous about Explosion. And Brick Break Psychic Thunderbolt will never come close to killing Registeel 3. I might actually double the Machamp, you know. Registeel 3 scares me a lot. What move would I use into Machamp? So no type spec. There's no steel in the back. Surely I would be using Double Edge. It would suck if I activate Quick Claw, but it would be a good kind of suck. And if I do this, I mean, a lot of Pokemon in the game do drop to Double Edge Urswing a lot. And if I isolate Registeel 3, then the danger is past. It can't explode anymore. The worst case scenario would be like, I was going to say Mischievous, but not even Mischievous or Dusclops. It would have to be an Intimidator, probably. No Tyranitar. It can't be a steal. I think I'm so far ahead. If I Double Edge. Even if it is literally Dusclops, I don't think I care. Okay, good. Perfect. Actually perfect. Was actually Registeel 1. That wasn't very likely. This is a little bit dangerous because of the boosting. Yeah, this is a bit dangerous. Okay, it's caught me unaware slightly here. I'm wondering if I should use Bite or Psychic. The damage is similar. Obviously, Psychic does more, but the flinch chance seems pretty nice. I might have to somehow get Registeel on counter here. With Urswing later. God, do I want to do damage immediately? I can probably trap it in rest. I'm actually going to use Psychic. I want to trap it in rest as fast as possible. Get it below 70. To use Amnesia. That is not good. So it's going to use rest here. It's going to try and use rest. I'm going to attempt to prevent that with the flinch. Okay. It's not good. It's going to use Curse most likely. I can probably get it stuck on rest again. I think Urswing might have to crit here. I will have a lot of attempts. Yeah. Oh, is that enough? Huge, okay, that's nice. That was really dangerous. If it got another arrest in. Because it would have been so random when it would start using Metal Claw. I guess I was quite likely to win though, because I'm quite likely to burn through all of its rests. I can probably get it stuck on rest. Like, over those 2 or 3 turns, I can do enough damage to force it to rest again. And it's only got 10 rest BP in total. It probably wasn't as scary as it seemed, actually. Should do one more. Let's do one more. Why not? No type, no phrase. A little bit scary. It does suggest Latties. Okay, I am quite a big fan of Regirock 3. So Electabuzz 1, the one that scared us earlier. Okay, and Crobat 2, I'm probably never taking that. I'll have to take this if there's not a better lead option. Okay, Latias 2, that is really, really good. Okay. And Glalie 4. I mean, Glalie 3, sorry. Glalie 3. Interesting. I might have to go after Dog in a second. I'm definitely leading Latias, and I think I'm really, really liking putting Regirock 3 in the back. It's really safe. But Regirock would make a lot of sense in the front as well to Earthquake, like Tom just said. I can double Earthquake. I can Latias can Earthquake into Regirock. It's not too bad. I guess the real question is it going to be Electabuzz or is it going to be Rapidash? I'd say I actually agree with Tom. The obvious play I think is to put Electabuzz in the back, because if Latias has a weakness, it's 2 bulky waters that don't die to Thunderbolt, and Regirock also doesn't like them very much. I'm a little bit concerned about enemy ground types though. I also kind of like going Glalie. Again, Glalie obviously is base 80 speed. He's a weird set, Glalie 3. 1 second. The reason I like putting Regirock in the back is it's slightly better in terms of swap options. Like, the ideal lead with this would be Latias and some other fast Pokemon in the front. One of the powers of the Latis in the front is that alongside another fast and reasonably strong Pokemon is that you can just kill something immediately. I'm quite seriously thinking about Glalie as the lead with Latias and then Regirock in the back. Because Glalie is fast enough to make it work. It is true that Glalie is kind of ass, but yeah. I really like Regirock 3 in the back. I feel very safe with that. very solid. I think I want better. I want better anti-water and I want better anti-ground over Glalie, but for the first game it will do. And I am a little bit worried about running into Latios. That would really suck. Not around. Will bide my time. Gavin. I mean, it's kind of good news. Obviously, Latias lacks the power to immediately kill Machamp too, but the others all die. I'm a bit worried about Hypno is quite annoying. All of the Hypnosis sets would be pretty bad for me. I don't think the world record has changed, right? It's 185, isn't it? L50 hasn't. L50 is at 182. Did L50 play more? Oh no, that's Wildcats. Wildcats at 210. In singles. Did I miss an LOXC stream? I was sure he was streaming next week. Too cold. I think I'm just gonna psychic. I obviously psychic Machamp. It is wrong to let Machamp live. Definitely, it's wrong. I'm gonna psychic Machamp, and I'm gonna Earthquake in case it's Machamp 2. Earthquake also does decent damage into Hypno. I would rather Shadow Ball Hypno in isolation, but it's not bad, and it's unlikely to be Machamp 2. It's very likely to be something else, which means that I do get an Earthquake off in the Backmon, which is important damage. I'm not too worried about Hypno because Regirock has a Chesto Berry. It lived. Wait, can the others live as well? Ursaring. Ursaring is interesting. I'm kind of down to double target it, to be honest. I'm not very worried about Hypno. I think I just Psychic and double-edge the Ursaring. I'll kill the non-bulky ones. The bulky ones probably also die. The Earthquake chip damage into Hypno is kind of irrelevant. Well, it's not actually irrelevant. It would matter for Regirock picking up the Earthquake kill. You know what? I'm actually going to go back on my mind. I'm gonna go for the Hypno, get it off the screen. Ursaring's not going to 1v3 for me. That's not going to happen. The only reason I'm not using Earthquake is because of the Bright Powder on Ursaring 4 being a potential factor. I'm not sure if that was Machamp 2 or not. I'm not sure if Latias always kills the others. The max HP invested ones. It's 91 SPDF. I'm at 162. The average roll is very close to 200 there. It's 183. I think I always kill that. I think it's actually Machamp too. I'm happy with this. I'm not switching. No. I don't like Gardevoir leads. That's not what I want to see, really. Bit too bulky for Latias's taste. I probably do have to Shadow Ball the Gardevoir. The problem with that is I also want to assist on the kill on Zapdos because Ice Beam won't kill it. I guess this might be a Blizzard moment. It's high risk, which does suggest Destiny Bond. Oh. Like, Regirock is pretty good against Zapdos. Pretty good. Hey, Dana. I really want to use Blizzard, but I don't think it's the correct idea. Oh, I'm faster. It's actually Zapdos 4 then. For Glalie to be faster. It's possible it's Blastoise 2 and therefore not Gardevoir 7, but it's very likely to be Gardevoir 7. I like putting the Shadow Ball into Gardevoir as I Thunderbolt. The concern about that is Mirror Coat. Yeah, let's kill Blastoise. Yeah, Blastoise 4 has Mirror Coat, high risk, high return, but Blastoise 2 has double high risk, high return on counter and Mirror Coat. Oh no, I'm wrong. It's got Break. I was thinking of Swampert too. Okay. So it's Blastoise 3 or 4 or 2. It has to be Gardevoir 7 basically. But that's fine. This is over. I'm not going to Thunderbolt because of Synchronize. I guess actually Synchronize Paralysis is fine. Interesting, it didn't try and kill Glalie with +2 Psychic. I was expecting that. I could EQ with Latias. The thing is, I don't really want to crit my own Glalie. I was a bit worried about the psychic spam there. Oh, why not EQ with Glalie? Or because Shadow Ball does more damage? Impossible to predict. Zapdos 4. Zapdos 4 is quite a bit slower than Glalie, but I'm also half thinking about Blastoise. I think Blastoise is too slow though, and Blastoise 2 is brave. I'm not taking that. I think I should take Zapdos. Am I insulting Glalie by doing this? Glalie looks like it should be levitating. You're right. Am I insulting Glalie? Like, Glalie is a bit bulkier than Zapdos. I am a bit faster as well, and I hit basically the same power on the physical side. It's just that what Zapdos 4 offers is a much stronger special move in Thunderbolt. Blizzard is kind of useless in That was a fast transition. Zapdos offers a stronger Thunderbolt at the cost of being slightly slower. I'm also double weak to ice. It's very, very close, actually. It is very close. It's not great into grounds, but it does fly, which means I'm not as worried about Earthquake spam. And I can Earthquake next to Zapdos. I can't really Earthquake as easily next to Glalie with Regirock and Latias. The fact is I don't really want to run into Zapdos either. I want to double check this isn't Zapdos 3 as well. It is Zapdos 4. So because it's impossible to predict, it is Clef 1. Almost certainly. Normal spec, not a surprise. Fearow is faster unless it's Fearow 4. I'm actually a little bit concerned about Follow Me, because it's going to give Fearow a chance to do whatever it wants. Do I Psychic? I don't think so. I think I am gonna Ice Beam still. Is it much point doubling it? I don't know what's in the back. It's not a flying unless it's another normal flying. Okay, don't paralyze, don't paralyze it, don't paralyze it. Okay. So it's definitely Clef 1. Follow me now would be annoying after the double team. Earthswing does appear a lot. It is an 8 set Pokemon. Okay, time to lose the double team spam. Okay, Latias doesn't care about double team. Hmm. Don't think I'm ever swapping. Psychic is not a great spec. A lot of the Psychic types do have ice coverage. It's free spirited. I'd say it's less likely to be Exploud 2, 3, and 4, since those are partially activate high risk. Metronome choose. Yeah, Kings of Leon are quite good. I do like getting rid of Slowbro. I'm wondering what to do about Exploud. Because I kind of want to use Earthquake. I'm a little bit concerned about counter. Exploud 1 is arse. I would be completely safe into Exploud 1. It's definitely Slowbro that has to go. I don't think Slowbro 1 ever survives Earthquake Thunderbolt. How much does Shadow Ball do? You mean Exploud Shadow Ball? Exploud Shadow Ball will do about half to Latias. But it's Exploud 1 is so terrible into the other two. So because it's Gen 3 and not Gen 4, it's actually possible that that is Exploud 3, even though Ice Beam does more damage to Zapdos. Over here, slightly different AI in Gen 3. I think I like going for Exploud more, just because mine could be Bright Powder. He wants to show off the White Herb. Yeah, it is. It is like that, maybe. Let's Drill Peck. Drill Peck does more to Mime. Unless it's Mime 1. It's not Mime 1. It's... I think it has to be Mime 4, actually. Because Mime 2 doesn't have investment. So yeah, Mime 4. How many Bright Powder misses do you need to win? More than that. Grass, no spec. Yeah, Exploud is guilty of the Gen 3 mix attacker stat distribution sludge. Why did I enter the swap screen? I'm not taking anything. I know it's grass, but grass is arse. Like, grass is a fake type. The only real grass type is Sceptile. And Sceptile's not on the screen. Okay, let's think a little bit about this. I'm a little bit concerned about Donphan. I think I'm concerned enough to Ice Beam it. It is most likely Donphan 1. Because it is free-spirited. I think get rid of Donphan. And Drillpeck Ludi. Ludio Colo 2 maybe survives. The others will survive. I'd be a bit annoyed at Rain Dance if it is Swift Swim, to be honest. Rain Dance Ludicolo 1 with Swift Swim, that would be annoying. It would be faster than me. But it doesn't do much damage. I think Donphan is actually the biggest risk of losing. One complicating factor is the can Donphan 2 use Endure on turn 1? Because of Latias. No, right? It's always going to Rock Tomb. No, it's always going to Rock Tomb. No, there's no risk of that. Yeah, that's cannon fodder. And it's not even Ludicolo 1 or 2. This is over. I'll double in case it's Vileplume 2, I guess. Who's more important to kill? I guess I'd rather hit Vileplume before it gets going on the defensive boosts. Yeah. Yeah, Ludicolo 3 and 4 are a pain in singles. In doubles, they kind of just suck. No type slow and steady. Okay, well, I'm not taking Ludicolo. I guess the question is whether or not I want Donphan, maybe. I don't think I do. Donphan in the back is a bit interesting, but I think I prefer the bulk and inevitability of Curse, Rest, Regirock. So yeah, Slow and Steady is a bit of a pain. I don't really want to get Thunder Waved. It's not like the previous round where I had the Lum Espeon and so on. Interesting. So Attract is also a Slow and Steady move. Oh, so is Leech Seed. But the Pokemon in the back has to be at least double Slow and Steady because Feraligatr cannot activate Slow and Steady at all. So the Pokemon in the back is very slow and steady. That is a little bit helpful to know. What is better, level 50 or level 100? I would say level 50 is easier, but it's depending on how familiar you are with the early round Pokemon. Like, do you know the base stat total and distribution of something like Pupitar? If you don't, you might find level 100 easier. Who do I kill? Or do I try and kill both? I'm not guaranteed to kill both. I think it makes too much sense to do it this way. What concerns me about this is Feraligatr 2, which has a Quick Claw. I'm giving it Torrent by doing this. I'm killing the other Feraligatrs, but I give Feraligatr 2 Torrent, which I am a little bit concerned about. I mean, Feraligatr 2 is going to use Scary Face on turn 1 and 2 anyway. I'm not sure I actually care. Okay. Sceptile 1. Umbreon is a slow and steady one. The good news about Umbreon is the fact that I have Curse Regirock. I should not lose to Umbreon. I'm considering actually Thunder Waving the Umbreon. I'm also considering Thunder Waving Sceptile, because Sceptile could detect again. In fact, it's a bit more likely in doubles than it is in singles to go for the double. I'm actually going to double. I'm going to double Umbreon. I do very similar damage. I'll take an Earthquake. It might matter against Sceptile in terms of the max roll and the Ice Beam. I know Thunderbolt does a lot more though. Umbreon dodged its Bright Powder Umbreon. Okay. Let me remind myself of the Protect AI. Yeah, it's gonna protect. It's gonna detect because of Leech Seed. Let's just go after Umbreon. Oh, what? Okay, whatever. Oh no, it's because it's got detect as well. It's more likely to use Leech Seed. It's over anyway. It is definitely going to detect on this turn though. Okay, I keep being wrong. I need to brush up on my AI knowledge. It's fine though. Ground Spec. Gosh, do I take Sceptile for Ground Spec over Regirock? That's an interesting one. The funny thing about Ground Spec in the factory is that most grounds Pokemon do not actually levitate. Obviously, Flygon, Claydol do, but most of them don't, which actually means that two ground Pokemon together can't really use Earthquake. And because Regirock is so bulky, Regirock's not. They're not going to see a kill into Regirock, so they're not going to use Earthquake. What was the Fraligator set? We don't know. It wasn't Gator 2. Yeah, Zapdos just murdered it. Actually not that threatened of Earthquake on Regirock. The concern would be the chip damage. I'm also a bit concerned about specifically Swampert. And a little bit concerned about how many ground types have Explosion. I guess the real risk is actually Explosion. Sceptile is kind of nice into that with Detect, but actually it's even better to run Regirock and not have to worry about it that way as round as well. So I'm leaning towards actually keeping. Obviously, most of the ground types I can kill on turn 1 with Ice Beam, Drill Peck, or just Ice Beam. So I'm leaning towards a no swap. Another option, I guess, is actually I could put Sceptile in over Zapdos. Zapdos, not great into grounds, obviously. The more I think about it, the more I think maybe that's better. Yeah, let's do that. So this is Sceptile 1. I might have to Leaf Blade Marowak here, because Marowak 1 can survive Ice Beam from Latias, and I don't know if it's Whack 1 or not. The Swords Dance Whacks are all total prep. partial activation. There is also the risk of the omnipresent risk of Quick Claw Fisher from Whiscash 4, which was Whiscash 4 was going nuts on Friday against me with the Quick Claw Fishers. I think I saw that 4 times or something. Yeah, I don't know. What I could do, it wouldn't be bad, is to actually detect an Ice Beam. The only reason I don't really want to do that is because I don't want to get hit by Icy Wind. I don't want Icy Wind that then Sediments comes in or something. That would really suck. Perhaps best actually is to double Marowak. I'm less bad into Quick Claw then. We'll do it this way around. I don't want to lose to a Quick Claw Fisher into Sceptile, meaning Marowak survives the turn. I'm not scared of Whiscash. Oh, it lived. There's definitely Marowak 1. Flareon. And Whiscash 1. Whiscash 1 can never use Earthquake after next to Flareon. I'm just gonna Earthquake Detect. It's possible. It's possible it's Flareon 2. But I'm Earthquaking. I think I'm so far ahead. That's a lot of damage. That's not Flareon 2. Yeah, it's Flareon 1. Yeah, this is incredibly over. GG. Okay. Good stream today. I might stop there. I am going to stop there. I'm not sure why the streak got struck on 79. That's kind of annoying. Is anyone else streaming Frontier? Can we raid anyone? Parasite still live? Parasitized is still alive. Let's raid Parasitized. He's playing Eradicate Battle Hall. Joy of joys. Cool. Thanks for watching, everyone. It's a good stream today. I'll be back tomorrow with Battle Arcade Gen 4. See you later.